Welcome everybody to Sharp Bets Fantasy Stats. We are here week 6, baby. October. No Nas, no show Nas this week. That's what we'll call him. No money Nas, no show Nas, whatever. Life got in the way. He couldn't make it tonight. But it's okay because I have his picks. Even though he's 6-9 and it doesn't really matter. Mike's the only one on the winning side of things in our picks. Keeping the boat afloat, as I like to say. That rhymed unintentional. It's October. As I said last week, the greatest month of sports. Notre Dame is ranked 14th right now, rocking their shirt. Kansas Jayhawks football stinks. Tried to get in them this year. Hockey starts tonight. My Penguins are going to be on a cup run as they take on the New York Rangers. And we are now witnessing quite the turn as we get into the roundtable. I am 3-2 as my team. Mike is 3-2, and Sir is in very unfamiliar territory. I mean, as far as I've known, the past, decade, couple bad years, but these Niners don't look like a powerhouse anymore. Sir, start with your team, man.
It's not hasn't been a good couple of weeks for your boy. Like they get up to good starts, but they can't close. They can't close the case. Like they were up 10 points and they let us slip through their fingers.
Well, what's the problem? What's the problem? Because I didn't see much of that game. So, like, what is the issue, you think?
Oh, just they haven't been able to put teams away. Like, they'll get up to big leads and then all of a sudden they just can't close.
And the fall from grace right now, seen in a lot of my fantasy leagues, Brock Purdy's actually available now. Interesting. You wonder if that's the case, if he has a little, if the Niners are going to pull another Garoppolo, Trey Lance type thing and replace Purdy when he's up for a contract. Interested to see. I got a smile across my face because the Niners have been the Cowboys' thorn in their side. We'll continue with the losers here because
we'll see you all in 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks with that.
Well, you'll probably be 2-4 by then, and then beat the living crap out of us. But we'll go with the loser again. Mike, whose Bills look like they're firing on all cylinders 2 weeks ago. Josh Allen with a 9 for 31 performance, and Lamar probably took over the MVP favorite this week. I know you've been keeping tabs on that. Dogs barking upstairs. Deal with it. Mike, how you feel about your Bills right now? What's going on?
Yeah, I haven't seen Josh play a game like that in a long, long time, and you could just see the first half. It was abysmal. I think he completed one pass the whole first half. He was missing wide open receivers. But at the end of the day, we made a comeback, and Josh made it happen, and we had a chance to win. Know how to coach in crucial times in a game, especially with the time. He does not know how to control the clock in games, crucially, and that cost us again. Not running the ball. I don't know if you guys saw the game, but we were like at our 5-yard line, and he decided to throw the ball with 36 seconds left 3 times in a row instead of running the ball. So, it's just, to me, I think McDermott is not the coach that's going to win us the championship. If Josh Allen gets the championship, I don't think it will be with Sean McDermott.
Where would you go? What route? Let's say they go have another 11-6 year and they lose in the second round again to Kansas City, who it's looking like it's going through Arrowhead again, which is just insane because the Chiefs haven't even looked good.
They haven't.
It's scary. So where would you go as a coach?
I would not go like the older route. I would go with like a young guy. I'm not sure exactly who. I could think on top of my mind. I think maybe the guy from the Lions, maybe. I don't know what.
There is a young guy. There is a young guy available. He just got freed up.
Salah? Hell no. Oh no. Oh, if Dable gets fired after the Giants, I want Dable back. That would be number one choice actually.
That would actually make a lot of sense, but I think Dable's coaching himself into a problem again because Daniel Jones has actually looked decent, and I think they might be forced with another situation of like, do we keep him? And they might just fall for the same cycle if they go 8-9. But we'll go with my Cowboys here, who I didn't get to bed till like 2 a.m. because of the hailstorm and odd weather delay where it didn't start. You wait all day for Sunday night, as the song says, and you end up having to wait another hour and a half, which is just like, oh, this is going to suck. I really thought it was an impressive win. Dak did not play great, but at the same time, he did. It was a very strange performance if you watched. He throwing for 350 in Pittsburgh is not easy versus that defense. And he grinded out a game where it was like they should have been up a lot, but then they had no business winning. Just a very weird, typical Steeler game. where you feel like you're beating them the whole time. How are we only up 3? Last play to Tolbert was pretty damn. The last drive was just an impressive drive. So I don't know. I think it was a big win, and it was good because they got the bye coming up after this week. So at the very least, they'll be 3-3 if they lose to the Lions. And with this way the division's going, I'm not buying into Washington yet. I might have to start, but it's Washington. It's still Washington. But let's go. That's the end of our roundtable. Oh, I'll cover the Pats because Nas isn't here. They stink. They're the worst team in football. I mean, they just stink.
Was that?
Only 2 words needed.
I told y'all that was a nap fest game.
Yeah.
I told you, Miami, New England, that was a nap fest game.
Nap
Jeff
time.
Drake May is going to take a pounding right now. He's just going to run for his life.
But with the way the NFL is, somehow the Patriots will beat the Texans. Like, that's just the way the NFL. Like, I knew the Giants were going to win that game. I told my friends they're pool killers. That's what I call the Giants. When you're picking against them in a Suicide Bowl and they should lose, they win. And then the game they should freaking win by all means, they somehow lose. Both of those Super Bowl runs the Giants had, they weren't even the best teams in Eli Manning's career, but they won with those teams when everyone's counting them out. That is the Giants. Anyway, let's get to Robert Saleh, because last week I said if they lose in London, they might leave him in London. And lo and behold, I was kind of correct to an extent. They didn't leave him in London. Let him fly home.
Yeah, they brought him home. They gave him a ride home.
They gave him a ride home. They fired him. And I, for one, thought that they needed to, but they should have done it before the year. You passed up on Harbaugh. You passed up on Belichick. People who might have came to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. And now you're kind of in no man's land promoting people. It could have a spark. It's early enough to do it. I, for one, like the move. I don't think Saleh was a good coach. Sir, that's your guy. You love Robert Saleh. What do you got to say about this?
Listen, I mean, I'm not surprised because, like, I feel like Rodgers is now the hidden GM now. But
yes,
like with the Jets team, like the defense, like Saleh was a defensive guy, and the defense wasn't the problem. Like their offense wasn't looking that great, and that falls on the OC but that's Rodgers' boy, So I'm not surprised. Somebody had to take a fall.
Well, to be fair though, you look at the record as the head coach. It's horrible. I mean,
I understand
because
last year you put all your eggs into the basket for Rodgers, and then he gets hurt 5 minutes in, and then now you got to scrounge for a quarterback to play. So like last year I don't want to chalk it up, but like I'm not surprised. As I said, the offense is not looking the greatest, and he's like, oh, there was rumors that he was going to fire Hackett, and Rodgers was like, no, that's my boy. You go.
Yeah. And to be fair to Robert Saleh, he went 7-10 2 straight years with absolutely no quarterback.
Absolutely. So you look at the Jets team and you're like, oh, they got a good team, but the quarterback play. But that's also your, he has a little bit of a say. So,
right. I look at it as the Jets are the nerd who never got the hot girl, and Aaron Rodgers is the hot girl, and they'll do whatever he says. That's kind of how I compare it. Mike. They're in your division, and luckily with the Bills having a couple weeks of sliding games, not that great. The Jets haven't taken advantage in 2 games I think they should have won. Do you think this is going to spark the Jets? Did you expect them to be fired?
Saleh, no. I mean, I didn't expect them. I think it's too early. Like week 5, just a weird week. I mean, you knew what you were coming into the season. What did they expect to go 4-1? I'm not sure what they expected to do. I mean, they have a couple bad losses with the Broncos, and it's just early. It's too early in the season to determine like this is the coach's problem. I don't think I was pretty surprised for him, but I do think that the new hire Ulbrich, I think he's more of a player's coach. I don't think Saleh was maybe a player's coach. I don't know if that was he was losing the locker room. There was a lot of quotes by the Jets players like after games. It was just kind of contradicting, and the whole Rodgers situation with the cadence and the hug. It was just weird. But I don't think they're going to be. This is going to spark them. No, I really think the Bills take care of them Monday night. Rodgers to me has not played good football, but who knows? I don't think it'll give them a spark. I don't.
Well, I think it was better. It's better to do it 1 week early than late. Like you said, it is early in the season, so if you're gonna do it now. Try to get some momentum going. But that is really weird doing it before a big rivalry game, which really could decide first place. You usually do it. They say before I don't know, a bad team. Like if you're firing a manager, wait till the White Sox are coming into town.
Hmm.
in baseball, and then beat the shit out of White Sox. But it's going to be interesting. So we'll get into that. That game, the Jets Bills. That's the only game we're really going to preview this week because there's not much going on from last week. Chiefs are 5-0. Browns stink. Vikings are 5-0, but are they really that good? Lamar's back in MVP form. It is what it is. Preview Bills, Jets Monday night, which could lead into some of our picks. Let's go. All right. So, Jets Monday night. What do you expect from this team, sir? I know we talked about a spark. Do you expect the fans to be riled up or a little disappointed that their quarterback was fired and that the Jets now belong to Aaron Rodgers? How do you think the fans react, especially if Rodgers goes out and throws 3 interceptions?
I mean, I think the fans are going to be rowdy regardless, like whether the coach is there or not. Like, the fans get a little crazy, especially on a Monday night. They've been drinking in the parking lot for about 5 hours, so they'll be ready to go on Monday night. But I don't know. I still see. I don't know. I still see the Bills win that football game. So
Impossible preview. Mike, how nervous are you about this game Monday night? I know you get a little emotional during the games and text things that are like a little outside the norm with like Super Bowl and MVP after one throw. You're one of those guys.
I do think that, well, first of all, I'll be there at the game.
Nice.
I will be there in the nosebleeds with all the Jets fans. I'm going with a
be careful out there, old boy. Be careful.
No, I know. I've heard about it. But no, I do think that the Bills will take care of business. I don't see the Jets, doing such a big hoorah. Like, I know, the energy is going to feel different. Like, they're trying to do to spark their team, but I just don't think Rodgers is playing good ball, and I do think the Bills are. They just kind of that Texans first half. I still can't get over that. But yeah, I do think that the Bills will take care of business there.
The Jets actually have some success versus the Bills, though, right? Like, even with the Zach Wilson Jets, don't they give them problems?
At MetLife Stadium, yeah. When they play us at MetLife Stadium, like, I think Josh Allen only has like 1 win there, or maybe 2. He doesn't play well at MetLife. If I was anybody betting, man, I would bet the under in that game. It's going to be just a downright dirty game. It's probably going to be like a 20-10 game Bills, something like that.
All right. Well, that could be Sir's over-under pick. Who knows? Speaking of picks, that's all we're going to preview. Let's get right into the picks. This is going to be a short show because baseball playoffs are going on, and I think the Yankees are going to win today 9-2, and I got to see some offense here. I'll cue that up for next week when they get blown out. All right, Mike, you went 3-0 last week. You're 10-5. Nas is 6-9. Me and Sir are 5-9-1. I had that tie last week because the Jaguars couldn't hold a 34-20 lead, which is just devastating. I do my picks again. Like I said, they're great picks. They just weren't, teams didn't do what they had to do. All right, I'm doing Nas picks now. He sent them in. So Nas is going to go with Arizona at Green Bay. He's got the Cardinals plus 5.5. He had them at 5.5. San Fran, he's taking minus 3.5 on Thursday night, sir. So he's taking your boys. I don't like that pick. Not picking him, but I would go the other way with Seattle. Cincinnati, Sunday night, he's actually taking the 1-4 Bengals minus 3.5, but the red hot Giants plus 3.5. Like I said, it's going to be tough because the Giants is dogs. This is actually a game the Giants people will pick, and they'll lose this fucking game. That's just how dense it is. So Nas, Arizona plus 5.5, San Fran minus 3.5, and Cincinnati minus 3.5. Mike, you're 10-5. We'll go with you first. Go on.
Save the best for last now. You sure?
No, you're the first. You gotta go first. You set the tone.
Okay. So I'm gonna go first with Commanders plus 7 on the Ravens. I saw them at plus 7 this morning. I'm not sure what they are now, but I do think
I'll give you the 7.
I do think Daniels is gonna prove this is his prove it game. Like, everybody's like, people still doubting me. People like saying like, I don't know about the Commanders. Like, no, he's the guy. I'm telling you, Daniels is going to be a good quarterback in this league, and he's going to prove it versus the Ravens at plus 7. The next pick is Titans minus 2.5 versus the Colts. They're coming off a bye. I do think that Titans defense, has the best pass defense in the league, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure who the quarterback's going to be, whether it's Joe Flacco actually looked pretty good last week, but if it's Anthony Richardson, I definitely would hammer this. But if it's Joe Flacco, I still think the the Titans win by at least.
Well, who's playing quarterback for the Titans? Are they going with Rudolph or Levis? It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. But
I don't think it matters. I mean, I would assume if Levis is healthy, he's the quarterback. It hasn't been announced that he got demoted. I haven't seen it, so. And my last pick is the. I was struggling which game to pick here on the third game, but I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Lions -3 versus the Boys. I do think that, if I'm not mistaken, are they coming off a bye too, right?
Lions are coming off a bye, yeah.
Yeah, so I like taking teams coming off a bye. You guys didn't look super impressive against the Steelers. I mean, I did take you guys for part of my 3-0 week last week, but I don't think the Cowboys can hang with the Lions offensively. I don't.
Okay, fair enough. Sir, we'll go with you.
All right, so we talked about nap time games earlier. Another nap time game. Give me under 36.5. Pittsburgh and the Raiders. Both these teams can't score. The Raiders have been going through whatever. Devontae Adams is not playing again. Steelers don't really put up much points. But I mean, their defense is pretty good, but they don't really score much. So give me the under 36.5. Second game. Sorry, Nas. Give me the Texans -7 against the Patriots. Drake May making his first start. He played some garbage time against the Jets, but got sacked twice. Houston brings a lot of pressure. Like, I don't see it been a good day for Mr. May. So give me the Texans -7. And last game, I give Kirk Cousins a lot of flack about being a bad primetime quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Eddie, you know what? He showed me wrong. But there's a quarterback worse than him in primetime, and his name is Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
His name is Daniel Jones. He's 1-14 straight up in primetime. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati, he has a 1-4, but you can't blame the offense for them. They've been putting up 25 the last 4 games. The defense is what it is. So give me the Bengals -3.5 against the New York Football Giants.
What is Daniel Jones' record in primetime games?
1-14 straight up.
I believe he beat the Packers. I believe he beat the Packers last year on a Monday night, and that was like his only. No, that wasn't even him, right? That was Tommy DeVito. When did he even win?
I don't remember when he.
That is a wild record. That's wild.
He's 1-14 straight up on prime time. So, listen, Kirk Cousins, my bad, bro. But there's a new king of trash in prime time. His name is Daniel Jones.
Dude, I can't even think back to when he was the quarterback when they won. I'd like to look that up. It was probably versus Washington on a Sunday night. It was probably versus Washington or some shit. Yeah. All right, so I'm going with 3 home underdogs here. I'm going to start on Thursday night, and I decided to go against Nas here. I like the Seahawks +3.5. Even if they lose, I like it to be a field goal game. I think this is a time for the Seahawks to make a stand and say, this is our division again. Put your foot on the necks of the Niners. Make them 2-5 or 2-4. This is the time to do it. They're reeling. The Seahawks had a bad loss, but I mean, if you're going to do it, you want to prove that you could stay with this team, do it now. I like them Thursday night +3.5. Cowboys Lions. Now, the Cowboys are 0-2 at home. They play awful at home. They're usually a very good home team. They're 11-3 versus the Lions in the last 14. The games are usually always close, even if they lose. I like the Cowboys +3. Somehow, if they lose, it'll be by 2, 32-30. But I actually think they're going to win this game outright. They tend to play better as the underdog this year. They went at Cleveland. They went at Pittsburgh as underdogs. It's time to get a home win here. And nothing would be better than doing it versus a solid NFC opponent. And then I am going with Monday night, the New York Jets +2.5. I think the Jets are going to win this game in a rout. I think it's one of those get-right games. Rodgers is going to show the world, see, this is what I needed. I actually think, Mike, you're going to be upset in the third quarter because this game might be 24-7 in the third. I like the Jets to win by, 14 points, 2 touchdowns, maybe 17. Could be wrong. And even if they lose and they cover the 2.5, maybe a 12-10 Bills victory, I like the Jets here. So 3 home dogs. Jets 2.5, Cowboys +3, and Seahawks +3.5. And boy, I could really fall behind this week.
I like how you shoot that up +2 and then build yourself up. All right, I see what you're doing here. Pick your boys and shoot at us. All right, I got you.
Right. As I build up, I build you down. That's how I got to do it here.
If I would have go with my original pick, I told you, but my last pick was a little tricky. I don't think you would have took Jets +1. I think you only took that because I took the Lions -3.
No, I had that written down. See, I had it written down. I like that picky.
My other pick was Falcons -3 versus the Panthers. That was my pick I was struggling with.
Well, you didn't do it. Tough. All right.
I'm sorry,
That's
-6. They were -6.
Yeah, the minus. Yeah, but I honestly I looked at that too, but I'm not touching Carolina, bro. Like I picked them to lose, they cover. I picked them to cover. They get blown out. Nah, enough of them.
I'm not messing with the what do they call them? The red rifle.
Yeah. Red Rifle, who had an awful week last week. Thanks. After I picked him up.
It's why I pick him in my fantasy.
Right. Right. That's why he's a backup. You get 2 good weeks and then it's shit. Never ride him 3 straight weeks. All
still
right,
better than Bryce Young. I believe Bryce Young came in and show why he's still trash.
Let's get to our fantasy picks here. Our players. Nas, I don't think understands the concept of sleeper, so he's going with Marvin Harrison Jr. for 7,200. Really building up his money, 7,200 here.
That's not the point of the show now.
I'll have to talk to him, but he's had a lot going on today, so I think he just threw out a wide receiver. He's gonna have a good day. So knowing this, he'll have 1 catch, 6 yards, and it'll serve him right. I'm going the receiver route as well. I'm going with $5,000, Jalen Tolbert for the Dallas Cowboys. I think him and Dak have formed some kind of bond, and I think there's something going on with him and CeeDee Lamb. I really do. There's like some sort of like non-trust thing that there was last year. So give me Tolbert, who had a great week, caught the game-winning touchdown last week. Brandon Cooks, who knows if he's playing again. I don't think he is, so Tolbert's a number 2.
He's on IR.
Yeah, IR, sorry. And I just saw that in my fantasy line. I've had to drop him because the gods are against me this year. Cooper Kupp's out. Brandon Cooks is out. Justin Herbert was.
Michael Pittman now?
It's a night. Yeah, he's on my team.
Michael Pittman now. Yeah, he going.
Brown. It's a nightmare. It's been a nightmare fantasy league for me. Anyway, Jalen Tolbert, $5,000. That's my pick. Look for Dak and him to connect a little bit. Mike, go.
So you took mine, but I had a backup just in case.
Okay.
When you had said Tolbert, that's why I was like, damn. My backup is Spencer Rattler, $4,000 versus Tampa. I think he might just take over as a quarterback versus Saints. From what I saw in preseason, I know a couple of Saints fans. They're all over this kid. They call him Baby Mahomes. So I do think that this is Spencer Rattler's time to shine.
Sir, what's your reaction? Did you have him as well?
I had Spencer Rattler as my thing.
Oh my God, we all took each other.
I did. I had Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, I talked about Drake May having a rough start. Rattler his first start as a quarterback. For 4K. But if I can't take him, give me Rashid Shaheed then at 5,600 to pair with Rattler.
Okay, we'll give you Shaheed then.
All right, yeah, give me Shaheed then. But I did have Rattler as my start. I was like, ain't nobody gonna touch him.
I had 2 of them. I had 2 of them written down. They're both the ones that we all had here. That's crazy.
Yeah. You should have just went with Pat Mahomes, like Nas.
Oh yeah. Jamar Chase sleeper this week.
All right, last week I won. Roshan Johnson had 2 touchdowns, so I edged out Sir with the Wando Robinson thing. So my thumbs up, thumbs down. My thumbs up. The New York Giants. No Malik Neighbors, no Devin Singletary at Seattle. Daniel Jones and the Giants come through a block kick. That's a typical Giant win, as I brought up earlier in the show. Good for them. Thumbs up for the New York Giants. Never thought I'd say that. I still hate their guts, but you gotta give credit where credit's due. Thumbs down. The Cleveland Browns as a whole just stink. Like it's hard football to even watch now, and it's hard to even fathom they're this bad. It's that Deshaun Watson contract might go down as the worst contract in the history of the NFL. Well, it probably in the history of sports. I mean,
and the trade,
awful, just absolutely awful. And I remember like 6 years ago when Watson had that one good year in 2018 or 2019, everyone was like ranking quarterbacks again. He was ahead of Dak, and I'm just like, I would take Dak. Everyone called me crazy. Well, sometimes you gotta look ahead, look down the line, and not get too crazy over 1 year. Give me consistency. So Deshaun Watson might not even be in the league if that contract wasn't so high. He definitely wouldn't be starting. They might start Winston. They should for the fans' sake because the team's not that bad. Thumbs down to the Cleveland Brown. You stink. That's all. That's all I got today. Any last words? Yankees final score, sir. Go.
Hopefully Yankees win, Royals lose. Don't care the score. Just get the W.
I like that. Mike, really quick, your NHL Stanley Cup winner.
I'm going to go someone from New Jersey, Ranger Devils, one of them.
Okay, fuck the Islanders, right? All right, guys, everybody. Have a good show. Have a good week. Week 7 next week. Nas will be back. Bye, everyone.